So when I tell you that I could not wait to get home and record this reaction to what was going on, for those that don't know, I'm on the West Coast. So when all this Barkley news happened, it was just right after lunch, 1 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock for the people on the East Coast. So when you guys had a chance to get off work, decompress, listen to the spaces, read all the reports, read all of the articles, all the reactions to Saquon Barkley, and share, your thoughts and stuff in this. I was sitting at my desk, listening to the spaces, hopping back and forth, reading all of the tweets, reading what the running backs are saying. And that's another thing, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Running backs, all the running backs with the kumbaya stuff is fantastic, it's beautiful. But it means nothing unless you put y'all checks on the line. So I digress. I'll get back to that a little bit later. So obviously Saquon Barkley does not get his extension. He is now forced to play on the tag. A lot of people are upset about it. A lot of people are happy about it. A lot of people are indifferent about it. Now, for me, I was one of the people that was saying, Joe Schoen, just hold. Hold. You offered a great deal, or you offered a fair deal. I'll say that. Do not get bullied. I also said that if he does, accept a deal, I think that deal is going to be good for the New York Giants. It's probably going to be a 2-year deal, maybe a 3rd-year option, but it's not going to be any kind of big money. And we saw reports all week. The Giants offered 19.5, and then we heard on Sunday that the Giants went up to 22 million. And it's like, okay, well, 22 million sounds about right, because if you do 2 tags, that's about 22 million. So it makes sense to me. And I even said in a tweet that even if they went up from 22 to 23 or 24 million guaranteed, I still like that deal, and it locks Saquon Barkley up. But here's the thing. The New York Giants have to realize, and the fan base has to realize, that we can no longer be this team that's solely focused on the running back. I think that in this new league, you can't even say a new league because it's been this way a long time. It's been very, very pass heavy, and the running game is a complement to the passing game. The New York Giants have things in reverse where the passing game was a complement to the running game. Now you go ahead and you pay Daniel Jones because you think he's going to turn into something. And then when you think about Saquon Barkley, you think about his age, you think about the injury history, you think about production on the field, you think about the running back position, you think about positional value. So even though none of these other running backs really got paid money this offseason, and it wasn't just Saquon Barkley getting the tag, you also have Josh Jacobs and Tony Pollard on the tag as well, who didn't get deals done, who also didn't get deals done, and are going to have to play on the tag. It's nothing that you can really do. It is what it is. And that's the same tweet that Saquon Barkley had sent out today. Just before the deadline, you saw a tweet giving it all away, saying it is what it is. Now, depending on how you take that, you fall into this category of whether, they did Saquon Barkley dirty. How can you do this to the best player on the team? He's the offense, he's the heart, he's the face of the franchise, this, that, and I understand that you have some real reasoning to why you believe that. Because he's very, very important to the team. But for me, I'm just sitting back and I'm just like, you know what? The New York Giants had to do this. Joe Schoen had to do this. I'm so happy that John Mara, it seems that he didn't butt in, that he didn't make an executive decision, and he let his GM. The same people that were mad about John Mara stepping in for the Daniel Jones contract, he shouldn't be stepping in. The owner shouldn't be. It's the same old Giants. When he didn't step in for the Saquon Barkley contract, you guys are upset about it. It's hypocritical. It's hypocritical. But again, for some people, all they know is the last 4 years, and the shining star for the last 4 years, 5 years, was Saquon Barkley. Throughout all the trash and all the losing seasons, the one bright spot you could say as a New York Giants fan is we have the best running back in the league, or we have one of the top running backs in the league. And now you're looking at the New York Giants with a whole new regime, with no ties, no loyalty to certain players. Make a decision that, okay, we're going to tag this guy. We're going to make it another prove-it year. And if you do well, possibly, you might get an extension. Or you might get tagged again, or we might just release you. And that's another story that's going to probably follow us throughout the whole season, depending on how the New York Giants are doing. Now, for the people that are saying that Saquon Barkley is going to sit out, I saw a report, I believe it was Dunleavy. Correct me if I'm wrong. If it's not Dunleavy, I'll try to put it in the, take a snapshot of it and put it up, that all of this was over $2 million. They couldn't agree, and there was about a $2 million difference between either the guaranteed money or the money per year. So for the people that think he's just going to sit out, for a man that was arguing or negotiating the difference of $2 million, you think he's going to take the risk of losing out on a whole $10 million? That's impossible thinking. Put your big brain on, think with your big brain, and just think about that. You're going to miss out on $10 million because of $2 million. It doesn't make sense to me. If it makes sense to you, let me know in the comments down below and let me know why you think that makes sense. It makes no sense to me. Now, for the other people saying that, oh, the New York Giants are going to lose, he'll prove his point. If he just sits out, the New York Giants will lose. They'll cave. They'll cave and do what? The deadline is up. There is no negotiating a new deal. So if he sits out, all he's going to do is sit out. It does not help his negotiation. He's not getting a new deal anymore, not this year. It makes no sense for him to do that. And another thing, what makes you think that Saquon Barkley would do that? Everything over the past 5 years that this man has been a New York Giants has always been team first, right? Last year, he had the press conference. And he was saying that, you know, there was a lot of doubt on the team, a lot of doubt in his ability. He was ready to go, ready to, you know, ready to show that the old Saquon Barkley is back. And what did he tell people?
It is what it is. I think I said it before. When the tables turn, just make sure you're inside that table. Let's stay on that side.
He told all the doubters, stay on that side. When the team is doing good, I'm doing good, stay on that side. So the team did good. The team is doing good. He had a great year. Things didn't go quite his way now with the New York Giants. What side is he staying on? What side is he going to stay on? Is he going to stay on the Saquon Barkley side, or is he going to stay on the New York Giants side? I'm curious to see that, because we already know that he's a great leader. He's a leader in the locker room. He's a leader of men. This is a point of difficulty. There's a lot of personal feelings involved, and this can test a man's character. Now, you can do the easy thing and pout about it. Sit out. Don't take any money from the New York Giants. Don't accept a check, a dime from the New York Giants. Sit out. Miss out on a year. You know, some people to say that's good. There's less wear and tear if he sits out, but he's still getting older. He's still a running back. He did all this fantastic working out this season to get his body in shape, to get his machine in shape in order to, you know, go off this season. So, you know, we're just going to go ahead and put you back in the garage. We're going to, you know, throw the tarp over top of you, and we're going to wait for... No, that's not going to happen. What are you guys thinking about? This man wants to play. He has something to prove it now. Like a lot of other New York Giants on the team, I believe he has a chip on the shoulder. But guess what? It's not going to be a chip on the shoulder for the team, for the coaches. He might not like Joe Shane. He might not like John Mara. But if and when he gets back to the locker room, these guys are still the same. They still view him the same. Even though they might say, you know what, it's a crazy situation. They should have never did that. You know, they're wrong for that. These guys are they still have a game to play. They still have their own families to provide for. Like, they're going to worry about it. They're going to show their expressions and support for Saquon Barkley, but they're not going to sit here, and it's not going to kill the morale of the team. You got to be kidding me. These guys are paid professionals. This is not high school. This is not college. These are paid professionals. They're going to go out and do the job that they get paid to do. Whether or not they are upset with what's going on with the guy next to them in their situation and their money. They can only care but so much. So I'm just saying, for all you New York Giants fans, relax. I don't believe Saquon Barkley misses any games. I don't expect him to be in training camp. I don't expect him to be in preseason. And even if he was on the team or, you know, in the facility, I don't think he plays a lot in preseason anyway, because you want to preserve Saquon Barkley. But what this does now, if he does sit out, is these running backs that are sitting behind them on the depth chart, they're going to get quality reps. In the second and the third string running back right now, with Saquon being the first string running back, the second and third, they get moved up. They're going to get reps with the first team. They're going to get reps with Daniel Jones. They're going to get reps with the wide receivers. They're going to get that continuity and build that. They're going to go into preseason, and they're going to play games with the first team. And they're going to gain all this experience, all this snaps, all this quality work they're going to get, these quality reps. And I think that week 1, I do believe Saquon Barkley comes back, but I believe that this team, this running back room, will be even better because they're getting these reps, they're getting these snaps, in the preseason, during training camp, in the joint practices against the Detroit Lions. And again, this is if Saquon Barkley does decide that he wants to sit out, for training camp, sit out for preseason. I can see the positive in this, because Saquon Barkley is who Saquon Barkley. He doesn't need a training camp or preseason. I mean, I think he has a pretty good grasp on what this offense is. I think there's going to be some tweaks because the personnel is a little bit different. So I would love for him to actually be here. But again, Saquon is Saquon. The talent is what the talent is. And I have no worries, going into the next this season. And that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. So I want to thank you guys for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.